All right, guys, welcome everybody back to another FC25 Evolution video. Today we've got a decent Evo. I wouldn't say it's that great, but it's not bad, right? You guys are gonna see it on the screen right here. Slow it down. eafc 25 Evolution. Let's get into the total upgrades. Let's get into the requirements first. 83 max overall, center back, 7 max playstyles, with a pace of max being 69, which is kind of crazy because the pace is gonna give you a plus 21. But the cap of 80. So technically the max you can get is 11 if you have a center back at 69 pace, but this means you can fit a lot of center backs that are under 80 pace and make them to capped off at 80 pace. So that's pretty good. We also get plus 10 shooting, which is kind of a random one, but we'll get into some decent ones right now. And then plus 2 overall, dribbling plus 10 with a cap of 75 and the overall of a cap of 84. And you get 2 play styles with this as well. You get a bruiser and you get relentless. So some pretty decent. I actually, relentless is really nice, and bruiser is pretty good as well if you use advanced defending. So it is a free evolution, no coins, no FC points, so we don't have to worry about that kind of thing. Let's get started into the first evolution path I have selected for you guys, and it is Chris Smalling. Now there's probably going to be some evolution chains that are probably going to be even more beneficial, like this Chris Smalling. For example, his non-rare gold. His best path, as you guys can see here on foot.gg, intro to stat limit, slow it down, sprint supreme. Now, at this stage in the game, I feel like everybody, or not everybody, I don't want to say everybody, but a lot of people have already used intro to stat limits as well as, sprint supreme maybe. So it's kind of hard to recommend Evo chains when a lot of people already have them done. So we're not going to try to go over too many Evo chains, but we will show the occasional ones here and there. But the first one is Chris Smalling. He gets 22 pace. That is crazy. Isn't it at plus 21 though? How did it go 22? Yeah, it's plus 21 pace, but he goes up. Maybe it's not showing the right stat. Maybe it's 75 technically. But aerial, relentless, bruiser, intercept, jockey, power header. Really good playstyles actually for the center back. The reason why I'm showing him is because he's English. I know he's from the Saudi league, but he's English, and it's a lot of people love Chris Smalling from previous games and years. So Shadow Chem style. Look at this card, 99 sprint speed. So he is going to be lengthy, so he'll catch up to anybody really over like an extra little bit of period of time. So I like Chris Smalling's a decent one. I think this is going to be the most popular one. If I had to say, I would say Sven Botman, because he's Dutch from Newcastle, so the Prem is going to be easy to link. And he also links to a lot of people. I mean, when you're Dutch, there's a lot of good links, right? We have Frankie de Jong, especially, is probably the more popular one. And then obviously pretty much any card that's really good that's Dutch is easy to link with him, as well as in the Prem. And then we have Lenormand here from Spain. I like him because I like his gold card a lot. I've actually really enjoyed his gold card when I first started this in this year. He goes up to 81 pace. Again, this is probably wrong, but it's supposed to be at 80 pace. And he gets good dribbling. The shooting obviously doesn't really, it's not too much of a boost for center backs. It's not what it's for. I think it's more meant for center defensive mids, but we'll get to that in a second. I really do wish this Evo would increase the passing, but again, we can't always ask for like everything you guys want. Shadow Chem style makes this guy at 88 pace. Again, don't look at the 89 because it's not actually 89. It's supposed to be maxed out at 80. So I just think foot.gg has it a little incorrect. I'm not sure. So we have that. This Lenormand I do enjoy. And then we have Christensen. Now I gotta throw in the Barca player in there because a lot of people are using Barca squads, especially for those who have De Jong, Hansen, Bonmati, Botelas. There's a lot of these Barca players, right? So obviously the Barca center backs are already so good. We have Kunde, we have and Araujo, right? Those two center backs already are really good. So maybe you have those two and you don't really want to use Christensen. But if you don't have that many coins and you want yourself a similar level center back, he kind of in a similar level as Kunde, but not really. But you guys get the drift. Next, we have Romagnoli, which there's a few Italian Serie A center backs in here, but this is for Lazio. He has 80 pace, 50 shooting is actually pretty decent. So if he gets the ball after a bounce back from like the corner kick or something, maybe we could take a shot with him. 75 dribbling, 85 defending with 79 physicals. Get a Shadow Chem style in there. Boom. Nice pace. It's really just boosting the defending. Or sorry, the pace is the main boost from this Evo, which is cool, but I just think a little bit of a passing boost, especially for a center back, would have been so helpful because this year's passing is like super important. Next on the list, I have Laporte. Again, I know the Saudi league, but he's Spanish. He's gonna link to a lot of players. He plays for Ronaldo's club, so if you guys ever use any Evo Ronaldo or Gold Ronaldo or Special Ronaldo in the future, this is going to be a nice little link to use. And he's Spanish, so he links to a ton of really good players, like the Adama Traore we're going to get. And just, I mean, some people already have it, but a little bit, probably like another week or two, I think a lot more people are going to start having Adama Traore's card. And they're going to need some links, some Spanish links. So I think this Laporte is actually a pretty decent card. And he's also always been pretty decent in the game, especially in the earlier years. And then we have Sergio Busquets. I just showed Busquets because he gets a really good upgrade when it comes to his pace, obviously being 21. But he's still at 58, which is terrible. But he gets plus 10 to shooting. And then his card in general is pretty well-rounded now. I feel like for a free Evo, if you're not really that big of a fan of this Evo, maybe potentially this Sergio Busquets gets actually a pretty good Evo in the future, because he only has 58 pace still, even with plus 21. And then well-rounded stats all around. Don't get me wrong, he's not usable right now. But you never know if they do another pace upgrade at 20. He is now at 78 plus some other stats. He's going to look pretty solid. So he also gets the perfect link to Jordi Alba. He gets the link to Messi. MLS links as well if he's Spanish. So he's a little easier to link than Messi, but I still think this is a really, really fun card to hold off for potential. It's like an investment in an Evo, right? You want to use this card. Obviously, he does go into, wow, box-to-box, slow it down, sprint supreme. This one is nice, but that's if you have all those available. That's a really good card with a shadow. See, this is the type of card I'm talking about. 6'2", he can play center defensive mid and center back, as well as center mid. But good passing on him, good defending, decent physical, not really that great. And then the dribbling is pretty, I mean, the actual dribbling bounce is low, but other than that, his dribbling is good. So yeah, this is the type of card I would say is like an investment, right? Just maybe do this Evo if you don't like any of these other cards, and just hold off on them. Next, we have Pereira, because he's Portuguese from Saudi League. A lot of Saudi League players fit into here. Maybe they're trying to make the Saudi League better, but he's going to get the links to Conte, to Diaby, to Benzema, as well as Ronaldo, because he's Portuguese. Jota as well, the Portuguese. Jota, I mean, no, actually, no, Jota left, didn't he? Didn't he go to League One? He might not be there anymore, actually. No, I just thought about that. But we have Danilo Pereira. If you have this Evo combination, I mean, look at this. Oh, my. Yeah, this combo is nuts. As a center back or center defensive mid, maybe a center defensive mid because he has intercept, aerial, bruiser, relentless. As a DM, that's a nice card right there. PSG links, obviously easy to link. Not PSG, sorry. Yeah, he's no longer in PSG, I don't believe. So this card actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, that might be the best one to use. If you have this Evo chain available, power surge, enter the stat limit, slow it down, and sprint supreme. That's a nice Evo chain right there for you guys. Next I have is Diego Carlos, because this guy is a legend on FIFA. I feel like he's been around for so long on these cheap Brazilian, center backs. So especially in the Prem. I mean, obviously, again, intro to stat limits isn't a lot of people probably have anymore. But I like this card as well because he gets up to 80 pace, good defending and physical. I think Hunter Kempsell on him, if Anchor, whatever, I think is a really good center back. Aston Villa, Brazilian. I always got to show love to the Brazilians, as always. And then the last one on the list I have is Buongiorno. This guy's always had a good card in the game since, last year, 2 years ago? He kept getting informs and special cards. Buongiorno here. He gets, again, I don't know why his pace shot up to this. It should be 76 because it's 21 pace. Yeah, so that's kind of weird. I don't know why it went up that high. Oh, sorry. I thought he had 55 and then go to 76. Sorry, yeah. Yes, okay. Because he technically would be 86, but the cap is 80. Okay, that's why I'm so wrong with the math. Okay. I might have messed up some of the other ones, sorry. But yeah, the max at 80 pace. He has already got pretty decent defending. This is an 82 rated center back. That's what we got to keep in mind. They're limiting it to 83 rated, I believe, right? So what's the max rating? Oh, max you could be is 84. So at an 82 rated center back with these stats already, this is I mean, it's a free Evo, guys. We gotta remember, it's a free Evo. It's capped you off at 84 rated. Shadow Chem style. Look at this card. He needs a few more Evos, definitely, but it'll be a good usable card. I feel like that's where we're at right now at this stage in the game. I feel like that's where we're at right now. I just feel like these Evos are cool, and we're like, okay. I feel like every time I do these Evo videos, it's like, hold on for this Evo for another chain or for another chain, and yeah, they get chained. Like this one has 4 Evo chains. But is this okay? So this card's actually, I would say, is keeping up with the times, right? I would say he is. He's pretty much Hullet gang. He is, I mean, yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments? Let me know. Do you guys think these Evos are like good enough to compete with the teams that people are using? Like, is this card better than Patri? Like stat wise, maybe. I mean, I don't know. Patri's still better, but and you have to Evo this card and like pretty much what, use 4 different Evos. They're all free Evos though, but still, it just seems like you got to do a lot of Evo chains and commit to one player and make sure you do the right chain and then get them to like a super high level meta rated card. And that's the thing, is like Evos are fun, but I think the fact that you have to, the only way a Evo card can be really good is if you fully commit one card to Evo into multiple Evos. Like for me personally, I have Gravenburst. We can look at my Evos right now. Let's take a look at my Evos real quick. I'm signed into my account here. I think I can go to Evo Lab. Okay, so I don't know if I've ever showed this, but yeah, these are my current Evos I have on my accounts. I have 2 different accounts, so some of these are not on the same one, obviously, because you can't do my new and Gravenburst together. But let's take a look at my new, right? Let's take a look at how I used it. I had to use this gold card into the Octopus and into Box to Box. So I had to fully commit my new into both of these evolutions, right? Let's go to Palco Barsi. Let's look at my review. I have Sprint Supreme and Power Surge. So you have to use those 2 Evos on one player, right? That's the thing that I don't really like too much, is that you have to just, in order to make a card usable, like this Gravenburst, for example, he is usable still in game. He's not the best option you guys can use because Frankie de Jong's better than him. Like there's just a lot of other midfielders that are better than him. And yeah, it's cool to have an Evo chain card, but is it really worth? Like, okay, so this Dalot, this is one of the few exceptions. I feel like you only use club member reward, and he's a good fullback, and he's still good to this day. I think he's falling a little bit behind the power curve, maybe because he needs a little more defending, physical, passing, but I still think he's a good card, definitely. And I don't think he's like behind at all. I think he's like the same tier, if not a little bit below. So yeah, that's just something I feel like it is the start of the game though. It hasn't even been a month of the game's release yet, so maybe in another month or 2, hopefully these Evos can be chained up to be able to be competing with some of the new cards we're getting, especially these SBCs and stuff like that. So we'll see. I don't think we've had a Evo that gives power and a playstyle plus besides the Ultimate Edition evolution with this Endrick that I used, that gave you all okay, so this card I had to use 3 different Evo chains, right? Just to get this Endrick to this level. He is a really good card, but still, like to commit to it is kind of wild, because you have to use all these commitments for an 82 rated card. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking it, but guys, that's gonna be today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy a bit of Evo chains. Some of them now no Evo chains, so just a little bit of back and forth there with all the new evolution chains we have available in the game today with this new evolution. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Subscribe and like if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios.